So, welcome to another writing vlog. If you watched the last vlog, I was working on a fun project for October that included remastering one of my old releases. I changed my mind. I kind of thought, why am I being stuck in the past? I constantly think about like my failed projects and thinking like, oh, how I could do it better right now with my new skill set and everything that I've learned. But what if instead of focusing on the past, why don't I just focus on the new project? So this is where we're at right now. I have a whole Notion doc of like ideas that I want to like develop into full books. The new project is not hard to find. This project just sings to me. Today, I just want to sit down, do some brainstorming, and I do want to do some world building with you. I have a map in my mind and I'm excited to kind of like make a sketch of it. I'm gonna show you that. We're gonna put together some Pinterest boards, and then we have the world, and I'm so excited about the world because this one is so intricate and dark. And this is gonna be like obviously fantasy romance, but this is gonna be like probably the darkest project I've written, and it's gonna have blood magic. I'm so excited. I've been thinking about like the whole system in my mind all fucking week because with magic systems, like I'm very particular. It has to be a certain way, and if it's not satisfying in my brain, it fucking bothers me. And this is the problem I have when I read fantasy romance. I often really like the romance. I might even like the world or the characters, whatever. But the magic systems is always something that pisses me off so much because I'm like, this does not feel satisfying to me. I don't get it. I don't understand. Let's see if I can nail my magical system. Let's jump into this whole process and see where it takes us. Oh, but wait, I also wanted to show you something very exciting. I had some artwork made for Vicious Princess, and I just got it printed to send out as like a giveaway prize for people who entered it. And look at that. Oh my god, this is Phoenix. This is Daigle. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. These look so pretty printed. Like, I was obsessed with the artwork. The artist is so wonderful. Charlotte. Oh my god, so good. These are my two babies. So excited for people to receive this. I hope readers love it. It's time to show you what I've been drawing. So this is kind of the first look at the map of the world. I don't have all the names and everything, so it's like placeholder, right? But essentially the main place where action is going to take place is Lithia and the capital, and then Darkia. These are placeholders, so please don't laugh at me for the names, okay? So we're gonna have 4 different kingdoms, and that's important because the main conflict that we're gonna be following is between Darkia and Lithia. However, the foreign kingdom number 1 and foreign kingdom number 2 are gonna have to come into play at some point as well. But yeah, this is how it is. And then also I wanna sketch out the capital L because action is gonna be taking place in capital L in both timelines. I just wanna have the idea of how it looks like. Okay, so I did sketch out the map of the city. This is very rough. Again, please don't judge me, and probably only I'm the one who understands it. But essentially the capital L is going to be like a circle city of 3 different layers. So we have the outer city around, and then a wall surrounding it, protecting it. Then we have the middle city that has another wall that surrounds it. And then we have the inner city, which essentially is again surrounded by a wall. So the city has like 3 levels of protection, right? And inside of it is Citadel of Light, placeholder name, so it might change. That's essentially where the ruler rules from. And right now it doesn't look like much, but it's so exciting. Also, I already kind of have a playlist that I always play when I'm working on this project, which is just like a random playlist on YouTube that just was recommended on my homepage, and I actually fucking love it. So, one thing about this project that's very new for me as an author is I want to do it in a dual timeline, right? And this is something I've never done and never attempted to do because I feel like it's so complicated. But I feel like this is going to be such a huge challenge. And at first, I was going to do single POV, dual timeline, right? The past and the present from the FMC's perspective. However, then it kind of dawned on me that actually it would be more tragic maybe and more interesting to write it in past is from her POV when they're falling in love, and then the present where the tragic thing happens to them is written from his POV. It's kind of like adds a more complicated layer. And also the present in his POV would be he has amnesia. He doesn't know he has amnesia, but he has amnesia. So I feel like it's just like such an intricate, it's a very complicated way to tell a story. However, I feel like for an emotional impact and like to make the story compelling, because you see, if I was telling the story from her POV in the present, she's kind of like a prisoner, right? I'm afraid that like it would get a little bit repetitive and boring. Essentially, at first, I didn't see it as a problem until I read what's it called? Oh my god. Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. And I love that book. I had such a good time. However, the first 50%, nothing fucking happened. Spoiler alert, okay? If you haven't read Rose in Chains and want to read it, like, don't. Watch the next. Like, she was in the mansion. The love interest was not there. Nothing was really there. She was just kind of like exploring the mansion. And at first I thought it was just going to be like a couple of beats, but it really dragged on up until like 50% or so. I was like, oh, if I'm going to write that sort of thing where like the heroine is a prisoner, even if she's traumatized, I feel like it can really make the story drag. So that's why I kind of changed my mind. Like the MMC, he's going around doing stuff. Like, why don't we show that? And like his inner world. So that's what I'm thinking right now. However, I'm still reserving the right to change my mind because I was thinking kind of like to write the past timeline first. And once that's done, I'm gonna go and like figure out the present timeline. And I might actually write a part of project from both POVs to see which one resonates the best. Let's go to Pinterest because I already started looking and it's so exciting. But I finally finished putting together my Pinterest board for the book, for kind of like the vibe and aesthetic, as well as the mood boards for two of the main characters. Do you want to take a look? I'm gonna share my screen with you. I am pretty obsessed with the whole, like, it took me a while. Like, it actually like took me a while, but I was like listening to the playlist and I was kind of just vibing. So let's start with the overall vibe of the book. Like, I also kind of worked out some of like world building kinks that are important to the book, because actually I think this is the first time where I had to actually, the world building comes to me as I draft the story because I'm very much into like character development and the plot. However, this time around, I needed to figure out a lot of the world building because on the world, a lot of the conflict that happens in the book depends. So I really needed to know why, how, what. And honestly, I feel like this is gonna be so juicy. It's gonna be so dark. But yeah, we have the high fae and the dark fae. And I'm so excited. And yeah, as you can see, like blood magic that's based in runes and just spice and sass and dark energy and just kind of like, you know, feminine rage and just war and oof. So this is the general vibe of the book. Now I want to introduce you to two main characters. FMC is gonna be Kara Steele. So currently the work in progress name is War of Roses, but that might change. I don't know. It's just, I feel like this is what I'm sticking for right now. So this is the vibe of Kira, and she is a high fae, and she is a grand knight to the golden heir of Lithia. She is feisty, she's sassy, she's dangerous. The love interest, the spice, the enemy. Riker Draven. I'm so obsessed with this man and I haven't even started writing him properly. He is the dark fae, obviously, the general in the enemy armies. And he is, so in the past, he's the general. In the present, he's the high general, which means that he's essentially the leader of all the armies of the Dark King, who is the ruler of Darkia. All the placeholder names, okay? Don't judge me. He's that kind of like morally gray villain that's like ruthless. He's like, I don't fucking give a shit. I'm gonna burn the whole world down to have you hot. So yeah, this is so exciting. I am so glad that I took the time to actually do all of this world building and everything. And I also made some notes. I already have like 5 characters that kind of worked out. So you met Kira and Riker. And then there's Treven Aspendove, who is the golden heir, the ruler of Lithia. And he is also kind of an ex of Kira. And then we have Dolores, who is the wife of the spy master for Lithia, as well as kind of like Kira's mentor and the high healer. And then we have Mateo, and he's the spy master to the golden heir. So these are like kind of like essential characters. I haven't worked out others yet. I know the Dark King, essentially the enemy force. The Dark King obviously is going to be the, ruler of Dark Fae. Also, I want to kind of like play with motifs of like high fae are like, so all of them practice blood magic. That's kind of like the way it works in this world. However, they have like different kind of like cultures and everything. So high fae essentially think of themselves as like blessed with the light because they worship the sun goddess. Their colors are like golds, creams, whites, and reds. And then the dark fae, they're essentially there in the north, as you've seen in a map. Oh, the high fae have like the symbols that are like sun related because they worship the sun goddess. And then dark fae have moon related symbols because they worship the moon god. Their colors are like silvers, blacks, maybe purples, I feel like. Yeah. I think this is as much as I want to give you in terms of the world and everything. I think we're gonna talk about the plot in the next vlog because I started outlining, as I said, because at first I was just like brain dumping everything in the notes app. I actually got like far enough in the outlining process where I started kind of like drafting scenes. So once I started that, I just put things into Plotter. So it's not like a proper outline yet. I just kind of like plopped a couple of scenes that I had in mind. I love to see like visual of the whole book. Next video, I'm gonna focus on actually like outlining. I think I'm gonna share more on that. Stay tuned if you're interested. I'm very excited to work on this project. I need a palette cleanser to give me a break from my current series while not being, like committing to releasing anything. Oh, and then I say that this is gonna be just 2 books. It's a duology. So the first book is gonna be dual POV, past, present, dual timeline. And then the second book is gonna be single POV, present. So just like one timeline. It's gonna be tragic. It's gonna be painful. And listen to the playlist. Like that playlist makes me cry. Like it's so sad. This is not a happy story, okay? I kind of want to be like break everyone's hearts, even my own. That's that. I think we've had enough. I'll see you in the next one.